Colts Nation, if helmets or helmet accessories interest you, make sure to go to greengridiron.com and use code INDSYN at checkout to get the discount code with it. Whether it's mini helmets, full-size helmets, visors, clips, whatever it may be, different face masks, different variations of helmets, alternate helmets, whatever the case, you can get it at Green Gridiron. And again, that's code INDSYN at checkout for the discount. Thanks for stopping by for another video, and now let's get into it. What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today we're going to talk a little bit about the quarterback and the quarterback competition, and somebody that we haven't talked about in this whole equation, a report that I saw a little while ago, but I kind of just been sitting on it waiting for the right time to talk about it, and I feel like we're getting to a point where at some point, the Colts got to make a decision. Is it going to be free agency? Or are they going to try to trade for somebody and try to bring somebody in as competition, right? Or try to trade, hey, maybe we trade Anthony Richardson. No, that's not what this video is about, is trading Anthony Richardson. I don't think that's a possibility. I don't think that's something we should do. But I do think that there's an avenue where we could trade for somebody to bring in as Anthony Richardson's competition this season. So when you look at what we have going on, obviously, Anthony Richardson, the way this offense works, Shane Steichen can call plays for pretty much anybody and make the offense work for pretty much anybody. But when you really look at it, and when I'm being honest with myself, this is what I thought when I watched Joe Milton, okay, New England Patriots 6th round pick, Joe Milton. When I watched him play, my thoughts throughout that game were that, holy cow, this is if Anthony Richardson was a more polished quarterback. It's what I saw. Now, Anthony has qualities that make him freakish like nobody else. Okay, I'm not saying they are a perfect comparison because they're not, right? Obviously, Joe Milton, in my opinion, better passer. Anthony Richardson, a freak athlete. Now, Joe Milton, very athletic. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. Anthony's different. Anthony's actually built different. He just needs to be able to stay on the field and prove that he's built different, right? Be built different for a reason. So we'll see if that's able to happen. But bringing in another quarterback is exactly the reason why, hey, Anthony can't stay on the field. We need somebody to come in and push him. We need somebody to make him better. We need somebody to make him want to make sure, hey, I'm really in danger of losing my job this time. Like, the threat is there. The threat is there for AR because he got benched by Joe Flacco, because he lost his job at one point. The idea was for Joe Flacco to come in and lead us to the promised land. That's what was supposed to happen. That didn't happen. AR gets the job back. So when you look at the situation, like Anthony, he doesn't have any room to really falter. They bring somebody in, like he has to compete. He has to get better. Like, he has to get better. This is the time for everybody involved, for Anthony, for Chris Ballard, for Shane Steichen. Like, he has to be better. And if he can't be better, then hey, maybe we fall to a guy like Joe Milton, right? When I started going back and looking, Joe Milton, obviously, he didn't play a whole lot. He went from Michigan, 3 years at Michigan, transfers to Tennessee, plays 3 years there. Doesn't get a whole lot of game action, right? You look at freshman year, 4 passing attempts. Sophomore year, 7 passing attempts. His first junior year at Michigan, 80 for 141, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So still early on. And again, a lot of these quarterbacks playing a lot of years in college, you get a lot of experience. Okay, that's a key thing. AR continuing to get experience. Okay, but as Joe Milton gets experience, as he goes forward, right, that season, that he has 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Then he goes to Tennessee, 61 attempts throughout that season. The next season, 2022, his first senior year, where he has 82 attempts. And then his actual senior years last year, 2023, where he plays in 12 games. He goes 229 for 354. That comes out to 64.7. Now, the year before, similar, 64.6, but again, only threw the ball 82 times, but has 20 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. The year before, on those 82 attempts, 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay, he went actually his first 2 years at Tennessee. He ends up with 32 completions, 53 completions, has a total of 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And then in his senior year, his final year where he was a starter, he got to put on, he ends up again with 2,800 yards, 64.7% completion percentage, with completion percentage and everything, but that's good. 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Really good year to end for Joe Milton in his college career. And then when you look at the one game he played, he plays against Buffalo. There at the end of the year, I don't think Buffalo played their starters, if I'm correct. So it's essentially a preseason game. He looked good in the preseason last year, showed some flash in the preseason. But then coming out, that's why everybody knew when he got on the field, it was going to be electric. He gets on the field, goes 22 for 29, 241, one interception, or I'm sorry, one touchdown, no interceptions. It comes out to 75.9% completion in his first NFL start. This is real game action. Something it didn't really matter for either team, but nonetheless, Joe Milton goes out there, puts on a show, and now he could possibly be available for trade. And if that's the case, I think that is something the Colts should look into. Now, what would the cost be? They drafted him round 6, pick 193. I assume because of his potential, they're going to want a little more than that. But will it be in this draft? Will it be in next draft, right? You go and get, hey, let's go and give you a 4th-round pick, and I'll give it to you in next year's draft. Does that work? What about a 5th year, but you get it in this year's draft? Drafted a guy in the 6th round, you just made a profit on a guy. Boom. Turning assets into profit. This is what the business is all about. Let's go. This is business of the NFL. Let's make it happen. So if you can get them for cheap, I think it's honestly a move to entertain. Of all the trade possibilities out there, I think Joe Milton does have some exciting qualities. Guy that is at least listed on ESPN 6'5", 246, another big body quarterback. And honestly, man, I'd be down with it. I'd totally be down with a quarterback room of Anthony Richardson and Joe Milton. Who's the other guy going to be? Jason Bean, maybe. Maybe those are the 3 that you roll with. I'd actually be okay with that. If that's our quarterback room, I'm okay with that. Now, you probably want to throw a veteran in there. What veteran would that be is really the question. Or do you just let it rock and have a young room and let it be what it is? But maybe you do want a veteran like Marcus Mariota to come in there and kind of keep things grounded on the offense instead of having a bunch of these young leaders. You can also have kind of a, the unk, right? The grandpa of the group where he can come in and kind of keep things aligned and keep things in check as a player coach on the field. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. That's my thoughts in real time. Marcus Mariota, Joe Milton. Let's go. I'm totally down with that. And of course, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what your opinion is of this situation. Should we go get Joe Milton? What would you give up for Joe Milton in a trade? If you were to do so, or if the Colts were to do something like that, what would we give up? So you let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Love to hear from you guys. Make sure if you enjoy the content, hit that like button, and make sure, of course, that you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified anytime we have any content dropping on this channel. Of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.